I'm John Madden with FEVO. I'll save my spiel after we introduce these rock star panelists. As Matt here mentioned, this is a big focus of this webinar will be premium, but also bundling and creating unique experiences. So hospitality spaces and how FEVO can create that in a seamless one-step buy flow. But without further ado, let's meet the panel. Let's go in order of how you see your faces here. Scott, why don't you kick us off?
Sure, Scott Tester, nice to be with everybody. I'm Assistant AD of Revenue Generation at UW. I was formerly our Senior Director of Sales. So I'm currently still involved a lot with ticket sales, but other revenue generating projects, e-commerce, CRM, our data landscape, various other things. But started my career here and then spent 2 years down in Corvallis, Oregon at Oregon State. Spent 4 years at the league office in the Bay Area with the Pac-12, and then spent about 4 or 5 years with Learfield as a West Region Director. So came back here in 2021 and have first year was coming out of the pandemic and vaccine checks at the gates and all those fun things, and was able to go on a national championship run and go through that with the dogs, and on my fifth season back. So excited to be here.
Love it. Thank you, Scott. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Will Cannon. I'm our Senior Manager of Premium and Suite Sales at the Padres. So I've been here 10 years, held a couple of different roles throughout my time here. Most recently, the past few seasons, I've been managing our premium sales team that focuses on selling suites, suite packages, suite leases, and all of our full half-season premium seats. So like Scott said, excited to be here as well.
Love it. And Matt, round us out.
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Matt. I'm with the Vancouver Canucks. Been part of the premium team since 2021. So just finished my fourth season. Part of the team that, again, like Will, sells all of our suites. We have 2 suite levels. We have 4 club areas, with one of them being the new President's Club that we built in between the dressing rooms. So kind of got to oversee the renovation of that and all the new sales there. And yeah, help out a lot on the marketing side and take care of some of our junior reps as well. So previous to the Canucks, I worked in Canadian college sport for about 3 years. A little bit different than what you're doing, Scott. Much smaller scale, but a lot of the foundation is the same. So
Totally.
yeah, kind of have a little bit of experience in both worlds. So exciting to be here and share what I can.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for you guys. Little West Coast panel. Love it. And as my teammate Jamie Hernandez put in the chat, yes, I do get a suite for my birthday. A little bit history about me. I've been with FEVO for 3.5 years. I'm a VP of Partner Success. My job is to help teams and partners optimize their revenue via FEVO. Prior to my 3.5 years with FEVO, I did spend 9 years with the New York Yankees, group sales, premium sales, and I was their ticket sales manager. So I do love making a trip back east for my birthday, which is on Monday. So I'll be flying out next week and doing my B-Day, my annual B-Day suite at the Yankees. So good timing with this being a hospitality focused webinar. Speaking of the chat, for all of you in the webinar, please feel free at any time to post a question in the chat. We'll answer it. We may answer it as we're rocking and rolling, or we'll definitely save some time at the end for some Q&A. But please don't feel like you need to wait to post a question till the end for Q&A. Maybe it's a really good question and keeps the conversation going. I was telling the panelists I'm really excited about how we have Will in baseball, we got Scott in college football, we got Matt with hockey, because April, along with I'd say August, is the 2 times in our industry where really all sports are humming from a revenue generation standpoint, whether you need to reflect, whether you're Matt and you need to reflect on your strategies from this previous season, or you're hitting the playoffs. Sorry, Matt, but you're hitting the playoffs and you're going to find some creative ways to sell some tickets in a very hasty schedule, right? It's tough when you, and you know from last year, it's tough when you find out your schedule for the postseason 3 days before it hits. So it's an important time for you venues out there, NBA and NHL. Needless to say, it's an important time for baseball. Don't need to explain that. And Scott, you can attest to it's all systems go on college football, right? I mean,
Spring ball. Lots of
yeah,
eyeballs.
spring ball. People are thinking about it. Even with just the NFL draft, catching catching all the sports radio talk and ESPN talk. It's time to think about college football. So love our panel, and for all of you joining, your sport is relevant, whether you're playing or not right now. So let's kick things off. Here's the agenda. I am going to do a little shameless plug of FEVO. I do want this mostly to be Will, Scott, and Matt educating you on how awesome they are. But I am going to do a little shameless plug of FEVO and a new feature release. We'll talk about marketing, selling, and positioning premium experiences. I'm going to lean on Will and Matt for that. And then Scott's going to really dive into creating and bundling unique experiences. And then we'll have a fun chat at the end about the future of fan experiences. So first off, that shameless plug. Thank you all for joining. Really excited to announce this got released a couple weeks ago, but some may not have realized it. But definitely reach out. I'm going to talk about it. Reach out to your partner success representative at FEVO. If you're thinking about doing premium, if you already do premium, because we can now very easily, very easily on the back end and very seamlessly for the fan and the customer on the front end, have standing room only tickets as an add-on option in the cart, right? What this does is it eliminates buyer errors, right? Maybe getting standing room only. You have suite 1, but you get standing room only tickets in suite 2. Oh my God, that would be a nightmare. It improves the buyer experience by allowing them not to only be pigeonholed in a 20-person suite or a 16-person suite, but hey, I got an extra friend. I need to get an SRO. And for you guys, meaning Will, Scott, Matt, all the panelists, all our partners, it's a seamless inventory management system, right? Rather than just being able to offer a 16-person suite, now you can maximize a little revenue and allow them to very easily add on a 17th, 18th, 19th ticket via the SROs. If you click on the back end, what you'll see is when you're creating the add-ons, just a little addition for those of you who have messed around with adding or doing add-ons in FEVO, just a little addition at the bottom there. As with anything with FEVO, the more you do it, the more you click around, the better you're going to be familiar with it. But that's just to show you how easy it is. Boom, a little toggle, a little click on. And what FEVO is going to do, if you're thinking about, well, like, how does this work? We are going to recognize what section, what suite we're selling in primarily, and automatically fill in the SROs for just that section, just that suite, so that there is no confusion, that there is no way our API with your primary ticketer will send in the wrong SROs. Again, you get suite 1 and you're having SROs in suite 3, right? That won't happen. And on the front end for the fan, it'll look as seamless as this, right? This is just a test flow, but you're getting suite 200 and you want to add on SROs to suite 200 or bar stools, and you can do that as simply as that. So, Will, Matt, I'm definitely going to ask you at the end. I want to talk about what you guys do, but get the gears turning on how maybe this can affect your world in a good way. But before we do that, Will, let's talk about you and the Padres. You guys got off to a 7-0 start, so there is no better place to start this webinar off than with you. Talk to us about how you guys have been utilizing the FEVO platform and digitizing your suite efforts.
Yeah, we're in a really unique spot business-wise where we've been sold out of season tickets for 3+ years now. So we're really trying to find different ways to work within our margins and capitalize on suite revenue. So for us with FEVO, we love the fact that we can post all of our suite inventory for the remainder of the season online there and allow clients to be able to go in, like you see on that image there, click on a specific game date, read a little bit about the different suite locations, see the venue map about where they're located in the ballpark. And where that's really helped us this year is our staff works very hard throughout the day, but a lot of people that are getting off of business or getting out off of work, they're not really going to talk to a sales rep, or they request information. It will come in, the next morning. So it allows them to look at the different suite options after hours over the weekends and be able to start checking out and purchasing suites that make sense for them. And then our sales team follows up after to make sure the client's all good to go. We connect them to catering if they want to add on games, SROs, things like that. So that SRO tool you talked about, it's going to be pretty helpful for us, probably heading into the rest of this year and definitely for next year.
For sure. Yes. I love that you mentioned the buyers after hours, right? For those on the webinar who are thinking about how to digitize your premium and suite inventory, that's the number one aspect of the brochure, so to say, is creating a 24/7 digital marketplace. If someone wants to buy a suite at 10 o'clock on a Friday, they should be able to. And it sounds like Will and the Padres are doing a great job doing that. How are you driving traffic? How are you getting people to find their way to that part of your site, Will? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so one of the new things that we did this year is on our suite webpage, we created a whole buy now flow where they click into it. It lists the descriptions about the suites and all of the different game dates with all the individualized FEVO links. So clients can go in, click the game they want for the remainder of the year and check out that way. But our marketing team, we meet with them every week and they work through all of our different ticketing needs, both on the membership side, the service side, groups, suites, everything to that nature. And they ask us what we need, and in our RU emails that we send out, we'll sometimes put in the link as like the secondary content where they can go in there directly, buy a suite. And last year, which we haven't done so this year, but last year we sent out the link to actually just from that email to action. The call to action was to buy now online, and then the secondary content was request more information or talk to someone. So we work with the marketing team closely to make sure we're driving the appropriate leads to the right spot, both on the group side and then on the suite and premium side.
Very cool. I love that. I love when there's synergy between departments. I know it's so much easier said than done, right? To have like synergy between sales, marketing, and ticket ops. But it sounds like you do a really good job over at the Padres, creating that synergy, at least through sales and marketing. So very cool. Matt, I want to bring you in because I know you guys up in Vancouver do suites as well, but take a little bit different approach in how you market it out and target your audience for suite purchases.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of what Will just said resonates with us as well, like that relationship with the marketing team. The biggest difference with us is probably that our efforts are a little more targeted, based on, just what we know, where we know we're going to need help throughout the year. So I've been there for 4 seasons, a few of my colleagues as well. So the marketing team has some veterans. So we've kind of understood where we're going to need help in the year. Usually it's at the beginning of the season, maybe at a couple long home stretches. We always have a big homestand in March with like 8 to 9 home games in a row. So we know we got to get ahead of that, right? So we plan out and we target some emails to go out. Like Will said, we'll have the buy now, like you can see in that image there, kind of headlining the email and takes them right to the specific FEVO link that we have built out with, usually 1 or 2 suites up there. We try to keep inventory low to obviously to imply scarcity. And then on the bottom, we have the, inquire now, which is a follow up to our tradable bits link, which then, we can have a rep reach out and call them and follow up for more information. But in those those emails, we are pushing the FEVO links as the first means. And, you know, we've had good success. We've had a lot of people buying within the first, you know, 8 hours, I'd say, of sending those out. We work really closely with our marketing team to put together great lists to get it out to people that are in our ecosystem that they've collected all the data from. So, and a lot of net new buyers from these email pushes too. Yeah. So when I follow up with them at the games, right, in their suites, or I give them a call after they've booked, a lot of times this is their first time buying a suite. You know, it was just they found it super easy to just do a couple clicks and get it in there, and then from there we've got them in our world, and we can kind of reach back out and grow that. So it's worked out really well for that.
Love that. Net new buyers. I did not pay Matt to say that. That is very FEVO. That is very FEVO lingo. We are all about getting our partners net new buyers. Thank you for adding that.
John, I think I would add something, and it's just, and we're all, we kind of align with Will that we have some premium in the football stadium, but we are basically sold through. But it's important to continue. This is probably an obvious statement, but it's important to continue collecting leads for premium. And like, you're never really sold out, whether you're able to develop a new space or you go through a tough year where you're, you know, down a suite or two, you want to have that pipeline. And so I think as you think about your interest form activity and your lead generation activity, and whether that's just part of sort of the normal flows that you have, or even more like intentional campaigns, it's important, I think, to continue to include premium as an option to select, not only because some of those people that are going to check premium interest are possible future premium buyers, but, you know, they're showing you that they've got capacity to spend. And so some of your like next level products that are, you know, whatever it might be, chairbacks between the 40s or something like that, is a good downsell for that type of group. So I think just as you think about data collection and lead generation for premium, even if you're in a sold out position, it's important to continue just like filling that pipeline as much as possible and never feeling like we're sold out.
100%.
I meant to touch on the SRO point that Will made as well. I'm sure most people with their premium offerings are offering SROs, but I just wanted to kind of highlight how important it has been for our business. You know, we do over $1 million every year on just standing room tickets, add-ons, and so we find any way we can to push those, and we try to make it as easy as possible. So giving them the tools to go online and do it themselves, like what you guys are doing, is great. We have the option through Ticketmaster, or, you know, spelling everything out in the confirmation email so they know exactly how to do it and how many they can buy and how much they are. And putting that in their hands, we've seen huge growth in the last 3-4 years. So standing room tickets is definitely something to take advantage of if you don't already do it.
Will, you in chatting before this, there was a feature in terms of, speaking of like integration and piggybacking off what Matt said with the SROs and pushing in the tickets. I know you're a big fan of that. We added the ability to have that seat map and show the fans where the suite is. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so with the different suites throughout the ballpark, we have over 70 suites on a couple different levels, whether it being on our field level, terrace level, in our tower lofts, or in the Western Metal building. So this is one of the new features we added this year, and Jamie helped us drastically with getting that built and correctly integrated with our Ticketmaster system. But when you look at our like a specific game date and you want to see what suites are available, it actually highlights it on that venue map. So on our website, in that specific example there versus the Nets, you just click the venue map side and it lights up the different locations that we have available in the ballpark. Super helpful for us because we have people call in that say they saw it online and they wanted to talk more through the differences between the locations outside of the brief description that we have there. So it's helped us really like move business forward and capture new buyers as well, for people that maybe don't want to talk to a rep but want to just go online and purchase it themselves and figure out like exactly what works best for them.
Love it. And Matt, from the bundling standpoint, which we're going to get into in the next slide. Scott is a king of bundling. But before we get to Scott, Matt, the bundling aspect, which allowed FEVO to push in all seats, can you share how that really took a big weight off your shoulders from a fulfillment standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people probably know how it was done before with, having to do a lot more manual and getting our ticket operations team involved. But the ability to build the offer out now where when they do buy, it pushes in everything, just reduces any potential confusion or, questions from the consumer on tickets and things like that. It's just much more seamless, takes a lot of weight off our shoulders. We automatically hit them with the confirmation email after they bought, and it's just made the whole thing a smoother process and allowed us to kind of get in contact with them earlier. So definitely an improvement. And then on the back end too, like I've just noticed, building out the offers has become a lot more intuitive and easier, which has been great. Saves me time because I'm the one building out all these offers. So I appreciate that.
That's what we're here for. And listen, I also want to be the first to say, FEVO's not going to be the end all be all. Will, Matt, Scott, these guys have their teams still primarily wanting to build that relationship with consumers. Listen, if Will's premium team can sell a suite, hand to hand over the phone, build that relationship. Will, you can attest to this. Like, that's preferred. And, go for it. I'm rooting for you. Like, go do that. This, like, FEVO is not the silver bullet, but it's to complement Will's premium team. It's to complement Matt's efforts. It's to get those 10 o'clock Friday night premium sales, those net new buyers, to piggyback off of what Matt said, those net new buyers who just simply don't want to talk to Will's team, right? But I'm certainly not here to tell you that FEVO is the end all be all for all suite sales. Will, I don't know if you want to touch on how it's more of a complement, right? It's a tool for what you do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our goals are pretty lofty, and we have to do 110,000 suite tickets a year. Just on like the nightly side of things, with us having like that large of a number and a 7-person premium team, like we really need to find ways to maximize their efficiency. And FEVO helps us do that, because if we're having all these RU emails and go out and people are requesting more information, but then when the reps reach out, they're unresponsive after the 7 to 10 touch points. We've integrated the specific link to the different suites in that email, and the reps are sending that out, and clients will actually respond back and say, hey, saw this suite, can you help me like check it out, or what are the different options between X and Y? And so like it's really taken 7 touch points for the client to actually respond, because they thought they were just requesting pricing and just to get something like the FEVO link right away. And in the end, it helps us capture different types of maybe people that wouldn't actually respond right away, or would have just left it from there and said, oh, we'll go do something else in San Diego instead. So it's helped us just like reach out and have different people try to find fits, options, different game dates, and let them already do a little bit of the legwork to compare like that 4th of July game versus an upcoming Saturday game.
Cool. I know we have another poll hitting soon. While that poll hits, for all the colleges who hopped on because they saw Mr. Scott Tesser was going to be part of the panelists, let's move on to expanding our thought process of how FEVO can help you bundle and add on, not just in the suites world, right? In the sport industry, when we hear premium, I do think it's a connotation of, just suites, right? But premium could be anything. Premium could be an awesome tailgate party. Premium could be a premium game. Premium could be a premium item, right? Or a unique item. Scott, I'm gonna shut up. Why don't you do a great job over at UW of bundling and using add-ons to create unique experiences? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thanks for the build up, John. I got a lot to live up to there, but I would say, again, we are sold out for the most part. We do have a couple of, we have a field suite open this year and a luxury suite, which is maybe a signifier of the economy, some of the things in the economy. Maybe, we talked about a little bit last week, just is there a ceiling on pricing? That maybe we're finding where the demand curve hits a little bit, but I think we have a luxury suite level for a college stadium. We have a pretty nice setup. We have a luxury suite level. We have a kind of loge patio level. We have some field suites that we call touchdown terrace. Then we have a club on each side of the stadium, and the one side is all inclusive. The one side is, and those are anywhere from 1 to 5 year contracts, depending on the product. So we have quite a bit of premium for the college space. A lot of those venues are older venues, and so there tends to be a little bit less. And then we talked, the fundraising aspect of college sports, and the philanthropy that goes into it, and the major giving and the capital gifts. And so we don't have probably as I know we don't have as sophisticated as a premium approach as what Will and Matt are describing. It's a lot of fundraising efforts, and then people are placed into premium seating locations based on how much giving they've done. And so we have started to work a lot harder to make sure, like, again, we're preparing for possibly having some more inventory open. But one thing that we have done is not having, again, outside of just continuing to build our pipeline and collect leads, is look at some of our spaces and how can we make the most of them, and create maybe some entry level kind of premium experiences, for lack of a better term. And if we are completely sold out, we get people in the wait list, and we talk about giving levels of people that are in those premium areas, and what those priority point totals might look like to get to that level. But in the meantime, whether it's our football stadium, we've done a lot with pregame hospitality, and so that might be pairing like chair back 50-yard line seats, or end zone seats that are adjacent to an end zone area that's got a pregame hospitality space. We've got an area of our fan fest that is kind of the private side. And so we can create that premium experience where you've got this private kind of pregame hospitality area, along with a ticket that's either adjacent to that or in a really, really good location. For basketball, we're doing the same. We've got something we call Hoops Hospitality. That's a fully catered pregame meal from a local steakhouse, and then we rotate restaurant options. But it's a full meal before the game. You can come back at halftime. Again, that's separate from the ticket or bundled with the ticket. We do this with men's and women's soccer using a hospitality tent, kind of in one corner of the field. We do it with baseball in a similar fashion. So we're sort of just creating some premium where it doesn't exist, and in addition to the SRO that I think we're excited to look at next year, we're looking at something on one of the decks in the sort of second level corner of our stadium, and creating but we use FEVO a lot for these. We do sell some of these products on a full season basis, but like the VIP, you see a couple of them right here, the VIP Zone Pass. We do a lot of single game offers, and people can get that full bundle experience. In addition, we're doing a lot of item plus ticket packages. This maybe strays a little bit from the premium conversation, but we've just found that a lot of fans are responding really well to, and especially your fans that maybe are part of another sport audience, or aren't, the net new buyers that you're talking about. We did for every single new first Big Ten game for every single ticketed sport this year. We did a big debut deal, which was a t-shirt plus a ticket. Big Time for the Dogs t-shirt plus a ticket. You can see that there. We've done things like Stanley Cups and cross body bags for gymnastics, and pickleball paddles, and all sorts of things where you get you get a ticket plus an item, and that's a bundle. The benefit of that is also that we can pay our vendor straight out of FEVO funds, and FEVO can write that check straight to the vendor, and that never has to hit our budget. Obviously, we know the challenges with budget right now, but that can be totally free from that. And then, yeah, we pair games together a lot with bundles. We experimented a lot last year with our Michigan game and pairing it with our 2 non-conference games. Of course, we have partial plans as well that are maybe 3, 4, 5 games, but just doing Michigan plus 1 non-conference game, and then Michigan plus the next non-conference game, and then Michigan plus the UCLA game, just to leverage, but doing it more in that bundle single game fashion. Definitely gave us just some more bullets in the chamber to fire, and we saw that Michigan game never go to single game on sale last year, outside of like stakeholder offers and season ticket holder single game additionals. We never had to go on sale on a single game basis for that game, just because we were able to leverage it in the right ways and fill our other games out.
Love it. Oh, so much there to unpack. It really speaks to you creating bundles or packages or unique experiences, not necessarily out of thin air, but really utilizing your creativity to create some kind of elevated offer, enhanced experience. I really love the VIP Zone Pass efforts you guys did last year. I know you're switching up that area this year. Like you said, you're kind of thinking about a new deck club space as well. So I'm excited to make it to a UW game this coming season. For those, what's that?
We might be able to work that out.
We'll work that out for sure. I just want to say there's a lot of great stuff here. If you're shy, don't worry about it. Please put some Q&A, some questions in the chat. Scott just gave us a lot to chew on in terms of not just bundling for suites, but again, bundling a premium game. Now that they're in the Big Ten, Michigan was huge. I think you got Ohio. You're hosting Ohio State this year, right,
Yep,
Scott?
we got the Buckeyes coming in.
We'll work on some cool bundles there. But also, again, a ticket and a VIP zone pass for all you colleges on this webinar. If you got some cool tailgate space, reach out to your partner success rep and let's figure out a way to market it out. Matt, I want to get back to picking on you. Speaking of creating unique experiences out of thin air. I know your hockey season isn't going to last much longer now, but talk to us about last postseason.
Yeah. No, yeah, last year, as you know, we made the playoffs. We made it to the second round, played the Oilers, which was a great series, but we utilized FEVO for kind of that, like you mentioned earlier in the webinar, the quick turnarounds between games with the postseason scheduling and all that. So we have quite a few premium spaces in the building, quite a few large, party spaces, if you want to call them, where they're anywhere from 40 to 50. We have one space that's all the way up to 120 people. And turning that around in a few days is extremely hard after you've already sold it for the whole season. So you go back to your previous buyers and you leverage what you can. But for some of the games, we decided, okay, we'll go out on FEVO, we'll create an offer we'll just sell it as single tickets. And we'll just break these spaces up into single game tickets, and with a bit of a premium twist where we'll offer a food and beverage component. We'll offer, we'll add a scarf, we'll add, a couple other little items to make it kind of a whole experience. And we went out with that, and amazing success. We sold out within a few days on the first one. So we said, okay, you know what? We're not even going to try to sell it to a group. Like this is great from the revenue side of things, and people are loving it. So we just rolled with that all the way through the playoffs. And then that kind of bled into doing it for some watch parties for away games. And then we've actually, this season, we ran it back twice for 2 games that we didn't sell the big suite. We actually ran this idea back and sold it as single game tickets. We didn't go through FEVO with both of them. We went through the first one, but it worked out really well. And so we kind of got that in our back pocket now as something where we can try different offers. We've also tried it with a couple of other premium spaces. We have like a lounge, an all-inclusive lounge. We put that out on FEVO during the playoffs. Saw good success there. Had to answer a few questions from people being like, what is this space? I've never seen this before. Never heard of it, but it was a good way to introduce some of the other premium spaces to our clients that are pretty much used to only getting suite offers, because those other clubs are usually sold out in full. So yeah, utilized it in different ways like that during the playoffs.
Very cool. Very cool. And Will, not to leave you out, you guys over in San Diego do a pretty cool fan fest.
Yeah, right before the season, we do their fan fest, just little activations around the ballpark, and we put all of our tickets on FEVO this year, so people, all the fans could claim different tickets to come out to that event.
Very cool. Is it related to an actual Padres game? Is it a standalone
Yeah, it's a
experience?
standalone event, so it's similar to what we've done with the watch parties for postseasons in the past, but yeah, every year we just load the tickets on FEVO, allow folks to go and claim tickets for Fan Fest right before the season, build up excitement, things like that.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, again, for all my NBA teams, NHL teams, anybody hitting the postseason right now, basketball and hockey, you heard it here. Let's sell some tickets to some watch parties, some cool experiences. It's really the evolution of just not selling suites and that creating the visual for suites, but also creating the visual for really any kind of elevated experience that you're looking to offer. I want to open this up, make it more not just all right. This is what I do. Put feather in my caps. You guys are fantastic. What advice would you give to those to any organization looking to start digitizing their maybe not just suites, premium experiences, or looking to get creative with bundles, ticket, and a pregame area? What advice would you give to an organization looking to start out?
I'll take a stab at that. I think I'll take the creative side. I would just say like sort of squeezing everything you can out and look around your venues, look around fans want access, affordability, and value. And if you can provide one or all three of those things in a bundle, whether that be an on-field experience that you bundle with a ticket, it could be a pregame field pass or a picture with the mascot or something like that, plus a ticket. We did something a couple years ago for Father's Day. This was on FEVO as well. There was a pair of UW socks and a stadium tour over the summer, and we themed it kind of as a Father's Day thing. But and they had, I think, 3 dates to choose for their tours. Whether maybe you can get a coach to spend 5 minutes pregame with the ticket purchasers for that, whatever it might be. Obviously you can go get something brand new and bring it in, but there's probably a lot that we haven't tapped yet. And I'm sure there's a lot on everybody's campuses and properties that might be there and maybe overlooked as an opportunity to generate revenue.
Yeah, for us, like with the bundling, we're in a cool situation because obviously like we're sold out of season tickets, and where I really think the bundling has taken it to a next level for us is we post our suites on FEVO. We also have our group sales team that does all of our large theme games. So like Filipino night comes with a ticket and with a voucher to redeem an item. And then we also have our large hospitality spaces around the ballpark, like the Western Metal Rooftop, that if it's not sold, we put it in a special offer and you can purchase single game tickets up there that include food and beverage. And what's cool about the bundling for us is if a rep is working with the group and a company and they want to send out an offer to the employees and let them kind of choose what they want to do, whether they want to come to a theme game, whether they want to have single game tickets to a hospitality space or purchase a suite on their own, the reps can work and bundle the different types of events that we have and different products and really let like the client and or their employees choose what they want to look into.
Matt, I know you came off mute.
Yeah, sorry, just had a door open there. Yeah, so I mean, I would say maybe 3 things. So you talk about advice for building out offers. One, I think that something I've learned is make sure your offer is well thought out and includes all the information. I think if really try to make it as comfortable as possible for the buyers to go through with the purchase. Obviously, it's a large amount of money that they're spending online. They're not talking to a person. So making sure that all the information's there, like Will said, having the map is really important where they can see where the location is. Having great photos of your suites and in the description, putting everything that's included with the purchase. Your food and beverage options, all that. Like it just really makes the person feel comfortable with going through with what is usually a big purchase if it's a suite. And then to try different things. Like we've had really good success just trying different things, like I said, with the playoff stuff, and see what works, see what doesn't. And then lastly, like Scott said, value. We've had really good success with Black Friday offers, Boxing Day offers. We've kind of trained our fan base that, they might be looking out for an email from us for a couple games or a couple different events around that time. And so they get excited for it. And we offer a little bit of value. Maybe it's in terms of a discount. Maybe it's in terms of a $250 food and beverage credit. We've used different stuff like that before, just little add-ons or an item like we have done before. So just providing the value online and getting people kind of prepared and training your audience to kind of know what to do when they get those emails.
Yeah, and I would just add, like, it's really hard to do, and I think a lot of pro teams do an amazing job at this, but like just having all of your marketing channels going is, again, it's difficult with 9 ticketed sports going, but having all of your all your marketing channels somewhat in lockstep, and the reps are calling the same list as your emails are hitting, as your at the same time as your rep level emails are hitting at the same time as your digital advertising's being targeted to those. So if you can get all those things working, and maybe you're mixing radio in, but if you can do all those things sort of at the same time, I agree with everything Matt said about presentation, and like it's important to have some hype and some creative marketing, copywriting, and our e-commerce manager Max Chan does an amazing job here at UW building out all of our emails, but you do have to focus on being really concise and clear about, and using things like landing pages and showing the seating maps and the quality of the photos. Those things are all really important. Also, like subject line, preview text, and hero image. Like some people aren't going to get past those 3 things, or even the subject line. So like just being really intentional with those, but then also at the same time you'll have people that are going into the second fold kind of cross sell, and some people that are looking at something in the footer. So it's all important, but I think it's a mix of kind of affinity building and getting people excited, but not getting so carried away with that you're not clear and what they're actually buying.
For sure. Yeah. Listen, back to the point of FEVO not being the silver bullet, like FEVO will allow you to create a premium looking page, but it's not going to be a premium looking page off the jump. I relate it to, like, imagine getting a gift. When you get a gift with very nice wrapping paper, right? You're like, whoa, this gift is about to be awesome, simply because you could tell that this wrapping paper is like $10 instead of something from the dollar store, right? That's what you want to use FEVO for. Create that really nice wrapping paper, because it starts with your gift experience starts with the wrapping paper. And your consumer's suite experience or your consumer's game day experience also starts with the wrapping paper. So use FEVO as your premium wrapping paper and not your Dollar Tree wrapping paper. I'm sorry, there is someone from Dollar Tree on the webinar. I apologize. I'm just kidding. I do want to end us with a quote from Mr. Hospitality himself, Walt Disney. And Matt, I'm going to kick it over to you, but you can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it does take the people, aka the fans and the customers, to populate that wonderful place, to make the dream a reality. I just want to shout you out, Matt, because we're talking about premium spaces up in Vancouver. For those of you who don't know, this was the first season, maybe the second season of an amazing new club. And Matt, you were even a little surprised at how well it was received, despite the dollar amount.
Yeah, I think we chatted about this a little bit before, but just something we're seeing in our market, and I think it's happening elsewhere too, just based on feedback I've heard. But the high dollar tag, it's not deterring people. We've come up with a new President's Club, like I mentioned earlier. It's a restaurant kind of that we built, almost like a steakhouse in between the two dressing rooms. You see the players come out on either side. We don't have glass, which is a really cool, unique feature there. And yeah, we modeled it after one of the best restaurants in the city. Uh, VIP experience, the personal chefs, and you walk up, your seats are right behind the benches, so best seats in the house. And um, but with that comes a very high price tag. But uh, we found that the people are renewing into it. Like we just had renewals this year to go forward with another 3-year deals, and people are not hesitating. So we've had large price increases over the last 3 seasons as well. Coming out of COVID, obviously things got stagnant for a bit there, but people are receiving them pretty well. Obviously, there's the occasional pushback here and there, absolutely. But I think when you build something really, really nice that provides a lot of value, especially value outside of just the game, right? Like they can bring their clients and they can have a great dinner and get business done, or they can come to the Bruce Springsteen concert, and have a big night and bring everybody out. When you create that value, people will pay for it. That's what we're noticing, at least in our market.
For sure. And love the mention of concerts. We, for the venues on the webinar, certainly help out with concert suites as well. Will, you guys, FEVO aside, you got some cool new renovations that were unveiled this opening day as well, right?
Yeah, we renovated the entire Western Metal building. So our ownership group tries to make the ballpark not look more than 5 years old. So every year they have a different project that they want to either create a new premium space, renovate Gallagher Square. And this past year was the rooftop, the loft, basically the entire building. So we have 2 suites that are more of like custom unique areas there, and then 2 traditional suite levels in the building, then a general public bar area, and then on up top is our rooftop, which is now a 2 level hospitality space that includes food and beverage. So when that's not sold for like larger groups, it's opened up for those special offers I talked about. But yeah, I mean, the ownership group is awesome, and they always just want to make unique experiences and find ways to bring different fans out to the ballpark. So if you haven't seen it yet, just take a look on the website. There's something for everyone in that building.
And I have no doubt that you and your team are going to crush selling those hospitality areas. I have yet to been to a Padres game. I got to visit you, my man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure meeting you these last couple of days to prep for this webinar, and having a blast with you. Looking forward to get there. We do have a question. Any best practices, advice related to tracking, referral codes, pixel tracking, UTMs? Stephanie, I'll talk about referral codes. Actually, I was just meeting with the San Antonio Spurs yesterday, talking about how utilizing FEVO's ability to do referral codes, aka sharing the same for the rest of the webinar, sharing the same link, but understanding where different purchases are coming from. Usually, sales leaders will use referral codes to track what sales representative is sharing that certain link. Will mentioned like a Filipino Heritage Night. Well, did Will send out that link, and is he getting the sales? Did Scott send out that link? Is he getting the sales? But Stephanie, I gather that your question is a little more marketing focused. Ref codes don't have to be sales rep related. Plenty of teams use referral codes to track whether that sale is coming from LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, you name it. It does, even though FEVO says it's kind of more often than not used for sales reps. You could just treat LinkedIn as a sales rep, as Instagram as a sales rep, and we'll track where those links are coming from. But Scott, Matt, if you guys have any thoughts on how you're tracking these buyers, and maybe even then speaking of the net new users, re-attacking them?
Well, I would just say like it can become a lot, like especially if you're putting together a lot of emails and each one has got 8 different links in it. And there's usually not just one primary CTA. There's going to be hyperlinks on most images and like we talked about different parts of that email. So I would just work with your data partner and your your email marketing partner and there's probably some things that are built into the platform that you could be maybe not fully maximizing. Maybe you are. But there's going to definitely the more data you can collect, the more that's valuable to the sponsorship and multimedia rights team, the more you can learn how to maybe retarget. I mean, we see again a lot of success and we do like a post-win type offer, then we'll reinforce that in the second fold of a couple emails throughout the week, and then we might do one more dedicated, really focused ticketing push later in the week. And we've learned that through a lot of just sort of tracking engagements on our emails, but we're not to the point where every single hyperlink in every single email is being evaluated. That would be great. We don't have the staffing to do that, but I think there's, sort of crawl, walk, run on it. And if there's a few things that are really important to you and maybe work with your sponsorship team and whatever other goal you're trying to meet to see what's important to them and focus on tracking that first. And maybe it'll just build on itself a little bit.
And then Stephanie's also asking, can we set up sales notifications? Matt, I would imagine maybe do you utilize the sales notifications? You could turn them off, but I would imagine, Matt, maybe you get a notification every time a
Yeah,
suite.
absolutely. Yeah, every time a suite sells or anything sells on FEVO comes through, and it's an immediate reach out confirmation email sent. The quicker you can get in touch with these people, it just again making the process comfortable. They feel like, okay, great. If 20 minutes after they bought and they're getting a confirmation email, it's fantastic. Makes them feel much better. So, and then on the other side of that, like our internal BI team will, collect all the data and we do retarget a lot of our past FEVO buyers, or even if they've clicked links in our emails, retarget them as well. But following up in person, it's so important with these buyers when they do come down to the venue. It's non-negotiable for us and our team is somebody is going to visit them, making that personal connection. It's great that they bought online and everything, but that's how you take it to the next level. We've found with these buyers is when it is their first time in the building, is getting down there and meeting them. It just takes it to another level. So I would really, really recommend that.
Process. I love it. Again, I'll be the first to tell you, FEVO is not the end all be all. It is an amazing tool, but you have to have a set process, just like Matt explained. We'll sell the suite and we'll notify you. Stephanie will notify you when that suite's sold. But if you don't have that immediate reach out, what are we doing? Right? Why are we notifying you? So please, when you're thinking about utilizing FEVO, don't stop there. Keep going. Think about how FEVO is a tool. Think about the setup. Think about the transaction. FEVO's got you on the transaction front. And then think about the follow-up. Really cool. I love, we're going to land this plane soon, but Matt, that's an awesome way to end this webinar. Process. Last question from Anish. How do you configure your offers so that fans feel comfortable purchasing big tickets completely online? Another little shameless plug, reminder, we have SROs, the ability to do SROs very seamlessly. Another quick shameless FEVO plug, ask your VP of Partner Success about Zip, buy now, pay later. Big ticket items, maybe they don't want to put the whole $1,000 down right now. Buy now, pay later is a huge, picking up a lot of steam in e-commerce, and we have Zip, buy now, pay later. We're seeing younger audiences utilize Zip. We're seeing ATPs higher when Zip is used. So Anish, I would love to chat more with you about Zip being used for the big ticket items as well. But I don't want to push us completely up against the top of the hour. So Will, Scott, Matt, if you have any remaining words of wisdom, please share. But it was an absolute pleasure chatting with you guys, and thank you for sharing your wisdom.
All good. Thank you, John. Thanks, Will and Matt.
Yep.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Everybody for
guys.
joining.
Feel free to reach out if anybody has any questions on anything we talked about. Happy to connect or a call.
You know.